isn't much out there. So this afternoon, there'll be people from Indiana, from Illinois, from Michigan, upper and lower, Minnesota, and Dakotas. Yeah, everything else, and they'll have 25, 30 trucks sitting outside waiting to load up to send home, and they don't care. And down in where all the flooding was this summer, those guys are just absolutely insane, and they don't care what they pay for them because there's no cars down there. And like I was talking to one of the buyers, and he says, I make $1,000 off every car I buy. And he goes, it gets to the lot, when the truck pulls in, there's people waiting. And they'll add $2,000 into what they got in it, not even check the cars out. $2,000 as is, and it's sold. And he goes, they're making a killing. So a car that's worth, retail up here, say $5,000, they'll bid $7,000. They don't care. They'll get it. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's auction time. On behalf of ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, URS, and CWS Marketing, we want to welcome you out to our sale. The sale number is 1266123. We're at 1144 Silver Street in DePere, Wisconsin. If you would turn over the back of your flyer, we'll go over some of the terms and conditions of the sale and get the sale started right out. General information: the placement of successful bid of U.S. Department of Treasury. Auction establishes a legally binding contract between the successful bidder and the government. Eligibility of bidders: the bidder warrants that he or she is not under the age of 18 or the party or agent of the party from whom the property was seized. Registration of bidders: persons wishing to participate in the bidding process required to obtain, fill out, and deliver bidder registration during the registration process. An individual's signature on that form is acknowledgement of his or her full and complete understanding of the terms and conditions of the sale. Earnest money deposit: immediately upon the completion of the bid, we'll have the high bidder and the backup bidder sign contracts and give their $5,000 cashier's check. Within 3 business days, the high bidder needs to bring the total deposit up to 10% of the purchase price of the property. As I was looking at that falls on Valentine's Day, so the extra bonus is you don't have to buy a Valentine's present if you bring you're the high bidder, so extra incentive. Within 3 business days, if they do that, then the backup bidder gets their check back within 5 business days of that date. If the high bidder fails to deliver the 10% within the 3 business days, they lose any right, title, interest, and deposit that they have with the property. We go to the backup bidder. The backup bidder becomes the high bidder at the backup bid price. Inspection of the property: the bidder is invited, urged, and cautioned to inspect the property prior to submitting a bid. Failure to inspect the property shall not constitute cause for cancellation of the sale. We've had this open for the past 2 Sundays from 12 to 4, and then another hour today, so 9 hours is plenty of time to see the property. Lead-based paint does not apply to this. Oral statements and modifications: we don't have any. Real property description: the bidder understands and agrees that the property is offered, purchased, and accepted by the buyer as is and with all faults. All information contained in the sales flyer brochure was derived from sources believed to be correct, but is not guaranteed. Written bids: we don't have any. Consideration of bids: the government reserves the right to accept or reject any and all bids. It's their property; they can do with what they please, but we didn't bring everybody out here just to praise the thing. They brought us out here to sell it. Financing: the buyer is responsible for obtaining his or her own financing arrangements as required. Failure to obtain financing during the closing process does not relieve the buyer of his or her legal responsibility and obligation for completion of the contract. Closing will be held within 30 calendar days from the date the government signs the contract accepting the buyer's offer. Government deed: clear title will be conveyed via government deed. Liens and other encumbrances will be paid for by the government. Title insurance is available at the buyer's expense. Default: failure to make your required deposits or final payments in the time frame specified in the brochure, you'll be termed in default, losing right, title, interest that you have with the property. Property offered for sale by ICE: what that's basically saying is you can't be the party or agent of the party from whom the property was seized. And with that, the auction is on. And have it all on, but give for it. But give 100,000 to go, but give 1, but give 1, but give 50,000. But somebody get 50,000. But somebody get 50, but get 25. But somebody get 25. You all know it's worth it. 25, but get 30,000. But somebody get 30, but get 30,000. Anywhere, but get 30, but get 35,000. Now 40,000. But get 45,000, but get 50,000. Say 50, but get 50, but get 55. 55, but get 60,000. But somebody get 60,000. 60, but get 60,000, but get 65,000. Now 70,000. But somebody get 70,000, but get 77, better give 70,000, better give 75. Now 80,000, better give 80, better give 80, better give 80,000. Better give 80,000. Y'all can bid too. 80,000, better give 85, 85, better give 85, better give 90. Better give 90,000, 90, better give 90,000. Say 90, better give 90, 90, better give 90, 90, better give 95. Better give 95, 5, better give 95. Anywhere else, better give 95. 95, thank you, better give 100,000. Even money writes better on a check, better give 100,000. Better give 100,000. Where better give 101, better give 100,000. Better give 100. Better give 100, better give 105. Better give 105. 5, better give 105. Nice clean carpets. 105 is all. Better give 105,000, better give 110. Better give 110, 10, better give 110, 10, better give 110, 10, better give 110. You owned it for a minute. Better give 110, 10, better give 110, 110, better give 110, 10, better give 110. Say 110, better give 110. Did you say yes? Better give 110, 10, better give 110 anywhere. Better give 110, 10, better give 110. Say 110, better give 110, 10, better give 110. You're gonna have to buy a Valentine's present if you don't. Better give 110, 10, better give 110 anywhere. Better give 110. Got 115. Need your 110. Got 105. Need your 110. Got 115. Hey, I'm trying to get it anyway. We're in a war. We got a government. We got to go up. 110. 110 is all. Got 105,000. Better give 110. Say 110. Better give 110. Anybody else? Better give 110. Better give 110. Say 110. Better give 110 anywhere. 110. Better give 110. Better give 110. Better give 110 anywhere. Anywhere. Better give 110. Better give 110. I have 105,000 bid asking for 110 going once. You wish to have it tomorrow. I have 105,000 bid asking for 110 going twice. Third and final call at $110,000. Mark it your way. Good job. 105,000. What's your number, ma'am?
2.
Number 2. And at 100,000, what's your number, ma'am?
3.
3. Okay. We'll do contracts with her first, and then do contracts with you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I know.